Ah, okay. This is a continuation of this. He says he's not a Muslim later on in this thing, which makes me think he's a stealth Muslim because he's desperately trying to defend Islam and using ad hominem to try to defend it. So he says this: "Don't take my word for it. Plenty of others here also mentioned your lack of sanity. All those who have to stop what they do 5 times a day, every day, to pull out prayer rugs and stick their patooties in the air to keep their skin from being burned off and placed daily throughout eternity in hellfire, while believing Muhammad wasn't lying when he said a rock ran off with Moses' clothes, making Moses run off angrily naked after the running rock with his clothes. True? Idiot! Does hell await you if you don't call me an idiot? Who knows? But in your case, I'm willing to take my chances, idiot. What makes me an idiot to you? Can you give some evidence so it doesn't seem like Takia lying for Allah, being that I'm dealing with Islam here? Lunatic, says another Muslim. In what way? Speak about lunatic. Do you know why the symbol of Islam and Allah is of the moon? Then another one says, you, sir, are a fucking retard. How so? Maybe learn a little more about the internet and stuff. It's obviously fucking magic to you. Yeah, it's like magic to me. We can see that, says the stealth Muslim. Because I'm not an engineer, so it seems like magic to me. Of course, you have to believe I mean the type of magic as Muhammad with his saying that eating 7 ajwa dates in the morning will protect you all day from both magic and poison, true? That kind of magic to turn Jews into apes for fishing on the Sabbath, true? Okay, I think I'm almost done here, seeing as you have totally lost the plot again. Plot? You're clearly obsessed with religion. Really? When did I start bringing stuff about Catholicism? That's fine if you have the IQ to be able to handle it. Right. But in your case, I fear that it's all about a little bit too much for you. If I can give you examples, maybe people... Oh, excuse me. If you can give me... If you can give examples... Maybe people here won't think. Maybe people here will think you aren't taqiyan, lie for Allah, which is allowed thanks to Quran 328 and 16106, and Mo saying war is deceit. I mean, what the hell is a grown man doing making up the childish crap what you do? I mean, what the hell is a grown man doing making up the childish crap that you do? What have I made up? What have I lied about? What have I taken out of context? Are you saying Mo didn't have a journey by night on a flying donkey-like creature? Are you saying Mo didn't say a rock ran off with Moses' clothes so the Israelites would see that he was the best of whom all created, as far as genitals go? Are you saying all that is taken out of context? If so, then please put how it's really supposed to sound. Okay? For your own good. Do something more positive with your life. FFS. Whatever FFS stands for. Like stopping what I do 5 times a day, every day for the rest of my life, pulling out a prayer rug and sticking my patootie in the air while saying I'm not worshipping a big black cube that once held idols. You sure? And stop ending every question with true. How about right? It makes you sound like a child, especially if it isn't. Well, if it isn't true or right, put how it's really supposed to sound, okay? FFS, okay. Half of your sentences don't even read correctly. Such as, it's clear that you are a religious nutjob. And you aren't? Are you telling me you don't stop what you do 5 times a day, every day, for the rest of your life to pull out a prayer rug and stick your patootie in the air? If you don't, why? If you don't, if you don't, excuse me, I gotta go back a little bit here. Okay, I'm gonna read back a little bit here. It is clear that you are a religious nutjob. And you aren't? Are you telling me you don't stop what you do 5 times a day, every day, to pull out a prayer rug and stick your patootie in the air? If you don't, why do you defend a religion that allows Muslims to rape women in front of their non-Muslim husbands? Almost every response from you brings up religion in one form or another. And that is nut job to you because the only logical conclusion I can come to is that you think that I'm a Muslim. You aren't a Muslim? What is it that keeps you out of Islam? Is it because Mo said that when the sun sets, the sun prostrates under the throne of Allah and asks permission of Allah to rise again? But if you aren't a Muslim, how come you are insulting to those who expose Islam on the internet? Or are you being paid by Muslims to personally attack those who expose Islam on the internet? If that is the case, you'd be wrong again, since I love my bacon sandwiches. So you don't pull out a prayer rug and stick your patootie in the air. Guess what? In Quran 16:106, a Muslim can even put his life over Allah by denying Allah if he feels, quote, under compulsion, unquote, or under duress. If you're allowed to lie and say you don't even believe in Allah, I bet a Muslim can say that he even drinks booze and likes looking at girly magazines. You ask what you have made. You ask what have you made up or lied about? Take a look at the title of the video, you moronic tool. You made that up. You have been proven to be full more of nonsense, pretty much like everything else you spout. Notice that it's in question form. How is that a lie? Oh, I'm not a Muslim. How's your paranoia working out for you? How am I paranoid? Okay, then he responds this way. Ramit, of all your drivel-like responses, I find this one the most amusing. It is clear that you are a religious nutjob. Again, you aren't? Are you telling me you don't stop what you do 5 times a day, every day, to pull out a prayer rug and stick your patootie in the air? If you don't, why don't you defend a religion that allows Muslims to rape women in front of their non-Muslim husbands? See Sunan Abu Dawud's report of how the first part of Quran 424 was, quote, handed down from all, quote, Allah the Exalted. Short answer, no, yes, and I don't. Explain? So, I was right. You do think I'm a Muslim. Hence, these silly, retarded, quote, Islam-related responses from you. How are they retarded? Why should you defend a religion that allows Muslims to rape women in front of their husbands? Are you... oh, what is the word? Crazy? Just for you, I'll give you an answer to this as best I can. Good, let's see it. To hopefully show you just how paranoid you are, to think that someone who sees you for the idiot you are must be a Muslim. How am I paranoid? You may not be a stealth Muslim. You could be paid by Muslims to defend a faith that allows men to beat their wives if they, quote, if they just fear rebellion from them. See Quran 4, verse 34. I was born in East London in 1970. I was raised as a Roman Catholic. and tutored by a Jesuit in a Jesuit school. At a Jesuit school, it was no joke being forced to learn Latin at age 11. I was baptized. How my first communion, I had my first communion and was confirmed just like all Catholics. Now, if you know England, you'll know that to the general population, Islam was practically unheard of at that time. I know that I knew nothing about it at all until later life. Well, it goes to show you that all will have their patooties in the air to keep from paying the jizya tax or else. That's how quickly Islam is taking over. Presently, I do not follow any mainstream religion. Just defend Islam. How come? I was smart enough to realize it's all dogma. Yet, you defend Islam. How come? Now, you ask, why am I defending Islam? The answer is simple. I'm not. This thread proves that to be a lie. But what I'll always do is combat the racists and bigots like yourself, especially when it's so apparent that they are as retarded as the mad mullahs and clerics that Islam has. Notice that you blamed actions on the people, not on Islam. That again is defending a faith that tells Muslims to go forth in Allah's cause and kill those they feel aren't Muslims after sacred months. See Quran 9, 1 through 5, 29, 111, 38, and 39. You just defended Islam again by blaming actions on the Muslim, not Islam. You are a liar. Now, I'm not here to try to prove to an imbecile that I'm not a Muslim. Oh, so far, you are failing. On the contrary, the fact that you believe I am says more about you than it does about me. That is, you are paranoid. If you aren't a Muslim, pick out something from the Quran that keeps you from being a Muslim, okay? Is it Quran 424 that removes African American complaint for the time the U.S. had slavery when it says forbidden to you are married women except what your right hand possess? Where you can have sex with someone's wife if she's your slave? Is it Quran 18, 74 through 81, where an innocent youth is allowed to be killed just by fearing he will, quote, grow up to disappoint parents and show ungratefulness toward Allah, unquote? Is it Quran 9, 1 through 5, that tells Muslims they can break peace treaties, rise up and slay non-Muslims after, quote, sacred months? What is it that keeps you from being a Muslim if you aren't taqiying, lying for Allah, thanks to Quran 328 and 6106, which allows Muslims to lie? Which is that keeps you from being a Muslim? Or is it due to the hadith with Mo saying at night Satan sleeps in your nose? Your paranoia made you think that Muslims had taken over YouTube. As anyone can see from the title, the content of this video. And now your paranoia has you convinced that because I correctly informed you of your ludicrous mistake, you now latch onto me thinking I must be a Muslim. Facepalm. Christian Prince, aka Investigate Islam, Muhammad Tube, Pal Talk, had his whole account closed just because he was exposing Islam, the Islam you deny. So was Ahmad's Quran 3, which is also yanked off of YouTube. If it makes me paranoid to think YouTube could possibly be under Islamic control, I don't see it.